everyone along the way that this is a very special day.
Very special day. It is. It's Monday. That means my partner in crime, my co-host this morning is Laura Lee. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning, Miss Becky.
Happy Monday, right?
It is a happy Monday.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's thank our sponsors this morning.
Absolutely. We want to thank Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Celebrity Home Loans, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Vindy Gunn, and Fox for Lee Wealth Management.
Yay. All right, and we actually are going to be talking with a gentleman, and his name, it is Monday, okay? Yes, can I have a little bit, but real quick, I want to hear, you got your boy home.
Yes, my boy is home from Fort Leonard Wood. He got to come home late Friday night, Saturday morning, however. Of course, his flight was delayed, all that good jazz, but yes, he is home. He's happy. Great.
What do you think, like his number one, like, is he making his bed now? I mean,
he is making his bed. He even sent me a picture Saturday morning. He said, I already made my bed, Mom.
How awesome. But I mean, like, to get that military training, too. I mean, these are things that are going to be with him forever.
Absolutely.
Could you tell the big difference from the day you dropped him off to pick up? Did you feel like, where did my boy go?
I know. He's a young little weigh-in now.
All right. Well, I want to hear more about that. I'm super excited. I know it's great to get him home. We have Terry West on the phone. Good morning, Terry.
Hey, good morning.
All right. Also, this is Becky. Also in the studio, I have Laura with me, so that other voice, that mystery voice, her name's Laura, okay?
Perfect.
All right, Terry, so glad to talk with you, and you've got a lot going on here, and this is actually good information, and I do want to say we used to have a regular, and actually they kind of changed the hours, of course, and they reduced the manpower, but we used to have from the Social Security office, we used to have a regular every month that would come on and give us updates. So we've not had that in a long time, so I really appreciate you helping us out with this. But kind of explain a little bit what you got going on and a little bit about this SHIP program.
Sure. Well, I'm the one of two public health outreach counselors for the state of Indiana, so part of my job is just to get the word out about SHIP, and SHIP is really a gold mine. We have 425 volunteer counselors, anywhere from retired individuals to currently working individuals who really want to help individuals understand and get the best access to Medicare programs. We've got 54 million seniors now, and we've got about 10,000 celebrating their 65th birthday every year. So with the baby boomer generation moving along, it's really important that individuals get correct information. SHIP, S-H-I-P, which stands for State Health Insurance Assistance Program, we're totally free. We're sponsored through the Indiana Department of Insurance. We're totally non-biased. So about this time of year and heading into what's called the enrollment period or annual election period, which is October 15th to December 7th, individuals who will be eligible for or are receiving Medicare are being inundated by television commercials, mailings, telephone calls, robocalls, a lot of them, trying to push people in a certain direction of Medicare. What we do is we provide totally impartial help in helping individuals, particularly in Washington County and really throughout the state, pick the very best Medicare program for each individual. So that's kind of our mission, to get the information out, providing education, and also helping individuals who have questions or concerns about Medicare find the right program, answer problems they may have. They may have received a bill in the mail and they thought they should not be receiving it. So we meet one-on-one with individuals in Washington County and throughout the state to help them navigate through the Medicare system.
Well, I'm like, yay, the Calvary has come, because Terry, years ago, there was no such program like you have, this SHIP program, and this was sad because I remember that, you kind of got to figure out what kind of program you're going to go with, and there were so many there were so many different avenues, and just because like something that would fit Becky wouldn't fit Laura. So everybody, you had to figure out what suited you best, and there was no one to help there was no help out there. And then Social Security office couldn't tell, and then they were saying to talk to your local pharmacist. Well, the pharmacists were helping somewhat, but legally they couldn't say what to go with. They could give suggestions. So this has been a long time coming, and yay, Terry, I'm so glad this program's around.
Yeah, well, we have about 425 counselors throughout the state, and each of our counselors have taken a 30-hour training course certified by the State Department of Insurance. Now, that's not all. Our counselors receive daily and ongoing training because Medicare, as you know, and individuals who have Medicare, it's a very convoluted program. You can pull your hair out trying to figure out the ifs, ands, or buts about Medicare. So we spend a lot of time training our counselors, and hopefully we can provide individuals with the best, most accurate information to help them make a decision. We don't make decisions for individuals. We just try to provide the best possible options for them in determining what Medicare programs that they might want to choose.
Well, I remember years ago they didn't have those options. There was nobody to physically talk to about this, and just trying to see what our options are, and just like if they were on a certain medication and needed this, and there were some plans that didn't have that. I mean, I remember there was a lot of upsetness and a lot of
I feel like there's still a lot of misinformation about it. Some seniors here, I'm going to get a $500 gift card if I change to this managed Medicare, and then when they go to use it and realize that they have to have prior authorizations, they don't know, they want to switch back to the traditional Medicare, and they really don't know how. I've been seeing that a ton in Washington County alone.
Yeah. Well, one of the great programs a lot of people aren't even aware of, there's a program called Medicare Savings Program. And individuals on Medicare have to pay for their Part B premium, which Part B, I just look at it as outpatient services. It's $170.10 this year. It went way up from last year, and the reason it went way up, and people were probably surprised that their Part B premium went up so much, was it's related to the Alzheimer's and the number of Alzheimer's patients that we had. The good news for this coming year, it sounds like, knock on wood, we may get a reduction of that Part B premium as our federal legislators have looked at it and said, hey, this is really shocking. So we may, don't quote me on that as being for sure, but we may get a reduction this year, which will be much needed for individuals. So the Medicare Savings Program is a program if you have to meet two criteria. One is your income eligibility, and two is what they call assets, which would be such things as what's in your checking account. If you have more than one vehicle, the second vehicle value counts, things like that. So, for instance, I'll give you a quick for instance here without going into great detail. Somebody who's single, whose income before deductions $1,720 a month, and their assets, which is that checking account, cash value and life insurance type thing, value of second vehicle is $8,400 or less, they're going to be eligible for the highest level of help with those excess costs. So it's called Qualified Medicare Beneficiary. We use a lot of acronyms, so it's QMB. What that would do for an individual who's eligible, it would wipe out that $170.10 Part B premium. It also can wipe out your Part B deductible, for those of you who understand all this. It also can wipe out any other deductible, Part A hospital deductible. So basically, if you're low income and don't have a lot of assets, you can get a ton of help with those excess expenses that Medicare is charging. So it's just a great program. And we kind of look at it as this. So SHIP is kind of dual armed. One is the counseling part, so we have SHIP counselors throughout Indiana. The other part is the enrollment centers. And these are the individuals, sometimes they're the counselors as well, but we have separate standalone enrollment centers that help people specifically with the Medicare Savings Program applications. So if I were helping someone and realized that somebody would be eligible for this, I would actually help that individual with an application, help them gather all the documents that are needed, and then submit that for them to the local Medicaid office and help them get these Medicare savings benefits. What happens is, can you imagine, so you have not accessed the Medicare savings programs ever, and you're paying $170.10. It's coming out of your Social Security check every month. We see this a lot where somebody may only get, like, say, $800 or $900 monthly in Social Security, and then take out $170.10. You know, the amount that they receive monthly is very low. Can you imagine if all of a sudden, back in your Social Security check, because you're eligible for the Medicare Savings Program, you now get this $170.10 back in your check? Can you imagine what a godsend that is for a lot of individuals? Many individuals have no idea this even exists, and that's what part of my job is, to get this information out and get them in touch with somebody who can help them with this.
Yes. So someone, let's say our listeners are listening on this, and they, how do they know, because there's so much fraud out there, how do they know, like, how do they get to you and not get to someone that, like, a scam or something like that? How do they know, what's the difference between what you do and making sure that they know that this is going to help,
Yeah. Well, let me give you our toll-free number, and the reason I give you that is if an individual will call our toll-free number, they will then direct somebody to the local agency there in Washington County. Right now in Washington County, we have a couple of agencies that deal directly with SHIP. They may not be specifically in Washington County, but they help in Washington County with residents there. One of them is Hoosier Uplands Agency on Aging and Disability, and the other one in Washington County is Older American Services Corporation. I have no problem with somebody, and I'll give you my personal phone number as well, but our 800 number at the SHIP office in Indianapolis, which is our oversight office, is 800 452 4800. And that's kind of a clearinghouse. What they will do is we have SHIP counselors, individual counselors as well throughout Washington County and the area there. And the state office, using that 800 toll-free number, will then direct an individual to someone who can help them through the SHIP office. Just to give you a quick scenario of what we do, say if, Becky, if you're interested in finding out about Medicare, have no idea, have heard all this information, you need some concrete, realistic information, we would have someone sit down with you. We might meet at a library there in Salem or some designated area. If we have a SHIP site there, we'll meet there. And what we would do would sit down, we would identify, okay, how is your health? What prescriptions do you take? What are your doctors? What's really important is identifying a right program where your doctor is accepting that type of Medicare. That's where a lot of people get confused. They may see a TV commercial with Joe Namath on it, and so they call the number Joe Namath says, well, who's not going to trust Joe Namath, right?
Right.
So they call that number, and then they get enrolled in a Medicare program, and their hospital that they go to and their doctors that they go to aren't in that program. So what we do is we take down all the information that's important to you, your health conditions, what doctors, what specialists you see, what hospital system you prefer to go to, prescriptions as well, and then what our computer system does, it will show 5 or 6 best option scenarios for you based on the information that you provide related to your health and your healthcare needs. So, and we obviously are very impartial. We have nothing in it as far as we're not pro Anthem or pro any other company. So it may be that best scenario for you would be the traditional Medicare Part A and B. It may be that your best scenario is to take that and choose a supplement. It may be an Advantage plan might be your best choice. It just depends on your situation, what your health care needs are, and your budget. So we look at all those things, take each individual very seriously in trying to help them get the best information so that they can make the best decision.
Well, I think it's great and to help, and I think families, I think they ought to bring, their family or bring some representative. I think everybody needs an advocate, to be with them and to help to just to talk it over. I think that's big decisions, and decisions like this are very important. And I think to have somebody that you can show the options on the table to, and then make your own, everybody's an individual, everybody's different, and what works better for, each one.
Yeah, I'll give you a really quick example of some of the things that happen that might shock some individuals, but a fellow counselor and myself met with an 85-year-old gentleman in a church here locally. I live in the Muncie area of Indiana, and we met with a gentleman. He had some problems, and so what we found out his problem was he had traditional Medicare Part A and B for a long time. Somewhere along the line, some company salesperson, he didn't even remember talking to anyone, had actually signed him up against his will for an Advantage plan. So he was now had $170.10 being taken out of his Social Security check, and so he had two insurances. You are not allowed legally to have double Medicare insurance. So this was an unscrupulous thing that happened. So one of the insurances was totally useless for him. You cannot have two going at the same time. So we sat down with him for 2 or 3 hours. It's really scary for older individuals. They have had, like in his case, he'd had this for 2 years.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
He did not know anything about it that was happening, and he couldn't get any benefit, maximum benefit out of his Medicare program because one of them was blocking the services from the other program. So, again, we don't decide for him, but we tell him, hey, you've got to drop one of these. You can't have two at once. To make a long story short on that, he made a decision. We actually sat with him, called the company that he chose not to have the insurance any longer. They actually ended up reimbursing him because they were unaware that he had double insurance, which he's not supposed to. They reimbursed him 24 months of payment that he had been making to them and should not have been making to them. Plus, then he got his Part B premium back in his Social Security check. So there's a lot of strange things that go on out in the Medicare world, and part of our mission is to make sure we help individuals, number one, identify if there's a problem going on, and two, help them rectify any problem that they have. So.
That's a horrible story, and it breaks my heart, but I'm glad that, that it was taken care of, and I'm glad, but, that company, the company that, like, the double, having the double, the other company, they don't recognize that they've already got it. I guess would there not be like
a separate company?
I can't really speak to that. You would think that after so many months,
yeah, they might.
Some kind of computer program would say, hey, this person's got double insurance, but I can't really speak to that.
Well, that's heartbreaking and sad, and I think that story needs to be told, to make sure, and you have to be, we talk about, when you're talking about your health or your finances, you have to be accountable. You have to really pay attention to this because things like that can happen, and that's a blessing that he got some of the money back or most of the money back, but that's not always the case. And to have somebody that can go to bat for you, or to to represent you, to realize this, that's gold to have. That's something that we need.
Yeah.
We need more of.
So again, kind of juxtapositioning what SHIP does. We have the counseling arm, which is what we're talking about here.
Uh-huh.
The other arm is the enrollment center arm. We're looking for agencies in Washington County and throughout the state. Could be an agency. In Jackamack, we actually have a pharmacy there who does the enrollment center piece of things. So basically, the enrollment center will help individuals identify that they're eligible for the Medicare Savings Program that I talked about, and then help them apply for that. There is a funding source that comes with submitting an application, and they're submitted to the local Medicaid office, the Division of Family Resource Office. There's a funding amount that individuals can receive who are enrollment centers, so it can help actually boost the income of that enrollment center if you choose. So that's really important. So if you submit a Medicare Savings Program application, it's very simple, 1- and 2-page application with, say, a Medicare card copy, identification, et cetera, while you actually get some payment from the state for helping an individual apply for this. So we're looking, obviously, for counselors throughout the state who will be trained, and also for enrollment center individuals. Or it could be a company, it could be an agency, it could be a church, it could be a pharmacy, whatever, to help individuals access the Medicare Savings Program.
Awesome. Well, and then, that's good. And again, what do they call that number, that 1-800 number, or how do they get a hold of you, Terry?
Yeah, I'll give you my cell phone number. Anybody has questions or has a concern, I'll be happy to help anybody anywhere in the state. So, and if I'm not the right person, I'll be sure and get them to somebody who can. But my phone number is 765-729-0958.
Let me go back over. 765-729-0958. Just for anybody listening.
765-729-0958. And then again, our 800 toll-free number in Indianapolis for the state SHIP is 800-452-4800.
So Terry, did the state realize that we needed some help on this? Was that something that this was all created from? They realized that it's kind of very confusing.
Well, sure. It's actually a federal program, so each state is provided with some monies to administer the SHIP program. In Florida, and they call it differently depending on which state you're in. Like, we just call it State Health Insurance Assistance Program, so we don't have a fancy name here. In Florida, they call it SHINE, S-H-I-N-E. I don't know what that stands for exactly. And then I know in Texas they call it LICAP, I think. It's all SHIP, S-H-I-P, State Health Insurance Assistance Program. They have the flexibility to call it something different. So they realized that the Medicare is very, very confusing. And we wanted to have the federal government, through the Administration on Community Living, is where the money comes. And each state will administer it in different agencies. So in Indiana, it's the State Department of Insurance that administers the SHIP program for Indiana. So they realized, hey, we've got to get out accurate, free information to help individuals, particularly with the increased numbers that are coming across for Medicare eligibility every day. So it's just something, it's got to be free, it's got to be impartial, it's helping consumers make decisions regarding their Medicare health insurance options. So, and that's basically it. And what we strive to do is help them be the best consumers they can to get the most value for their insurance dollars.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Terry, sounds like you've got a great program going, and definitely we like that help, and anybody, and I think this is much needed, and I think I'm glad to hear this is going on, because I think there was a lot of confusion, which I know when I'm not there yet, but I know that that the Social Security, when they would talk about it, it's very confusing. So this is a blessing that you can talk to an individual or meet with someone. That's what I like too.
Yeah, and we have staff that come down, so we might. I know agencies may not have manpower to actually become counseling centers or enrollment centers. So what we do, we can actually come down, say once a month. Say we identify an agency location, a church, whatever it might be. We can actually come have a staff member there, say once a month, during a certain set period of time a day. So let's say 8 to 4 or 10 to 2, whatever's best, and then we'll have somebody there and to meet with individuals that have questions. So we can also provide, just group presentations. We might have a speaker come down and speak to, an organization. Whatever's needed, we want to just make sure we can get information out to help people.
Well, I think that's great. I think that's a grand idea. I like the idea, and I don't like people. I don't like that scare tactic, and I don't like people just like that gentleman you told the story of. Somebody, obviously, and maybe it wasn't intentionally, but it was taking advantage of him, and that's just, I don't like that at all. So I like if we can help out and clear up, and everyone, have the most money they can have. I like that.
Yeah. Well, the annual enrollment period is really a critical time. Kind of leave you with this, but October 15th to December 7th, that's kind of the time period where individuals can change plans, look at their plans again, see what the costs are going to be. They may want to change. You might want to change from, they may have a supplement plan to go with their Part A and B and think, I might want to try an Advantage plan. Well, there's a possibility of doing that, so we would sit down with somebody and look at the different Advantage plans. And that's what you see on TV. It's always the Advantage plan. So what that means is it's a private company who is basically taken over Medicare for an individual. So if you have an Advantage plan, a lot of those have no premium costs. So individuals immediately turn to those and say, hey, that's great. No monthly premium, but if you look in the fine print, they may not be best for you with large deductibles, so forth. So, but October 15th to December 7th, that's the annual election or annual enrollment period that I say where individuals can make changes if they want in either their Medicare plan, their prescription plan, if they have a separate one, and so forth. So we want to stress that. And if you'd like for me to come back and talk to you down the road here, even on a monthly basis, I'll be happy to do that. So maybe we can come down into Washington on a certain day, and then I can actually meet with some individuals down there if that's something you'd like to do. So.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think, too, and something else to kind of want to go back over, my understanding was you said that was it December the 7th was the deadline?
Uh-huh.
Okay, once that is done and it's closed, then you're locked in until the next time it opens.
That isn't necessarily true.
Oh, I love that. Is that changed?
Yeah,
okay.
it has.
Okay.
At the nursing homes, we have patients that will switch to an Advantage plan, and once they realize that it's not going to cover and they've had a change of circumstances, then they will call Medicare and tell them, I don't want this.
Oh, you can change. Okay.
And Medicare will switch them back to traditional Medicare on the 1st of the next month.
Oh, okay, awesome. Now, was that new? Because I thought, because I remembered, let me roll back years ago. I always thought that was locked in, but it's not. Mm-hmm. Well, that's good to know. That brings good news.
Yeah, there are always exceptions to everything. So you might say, well, you got to get 7. Well, there's enrollment options like what was just presented there. So each individual is different, and that's why it's just not a one catch-all situation. So depending on your situation, there are some options and opportunities where you can switch out of what you are currently enrolled in.
Oh, good. Good to hear that. I did not, for some reason, I thought it was like you...
We discovered it on a fluke at the nursing home.
Well, what a blessing. I'm glad to hear that. Please, I hope everyone reiterate that you can, you change it if you, if you call and talk to them and explain your situation, and, that's wonderful. Good to hear that. Well, everybody, we're dealing with people. We're dealing with humans, and we're dealing with lives. So that's good to know that it's not, cut and dry like that. Good.
Yeah. Well, I think that's about all today. I just wanted to thank you so much for having me on here. And hopefully we can develop a relationship, and we'll just keep right on going and providing information for you, and hopefully get down to meet you guys down in Washington County.
We'd love that. Terry, keep up the great work. Thank you for this information, and I hope it helped out, and I hope that, the surrounding counties too, I hope, because this is for the host state of Indiana, this is great, and I hope that it helps someone out there. So thank you again for your time, okay?
All right, let me know if we can be of help.
All right, thanks, Terry. Have a good Monday.
Happy Monday.
Too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, good information. I did not know that. So, because that was the sad part. I'm going to go back years ago, okay, when we had our Social Security, that was what they kept saying, that once you locked
and
in.
that's how it was.
And it was like that. Okay, so what a blessing. They obviously realized that they have to change that.
We discovered it kind of on a fluke, I think, during COVID. Like, they've kind of relaxed some of that because they're, these Advantage insurance plans are kind of preying on our seniors, offering them
that's heartbreaking.
the free glasses if you change to the Advantage, even though your doctor doesn't accept it and your pharmacy doesn't accept it. We're going to get you a free pair of glasses, or we're going to give you that $200 gift card for groceries. And some of these seniors are living so month to month that it does give them that break. But then they're stuck with an insurance that doesn't
help them.
Work.
No, that's what I've heard. See, I heard
or their medicines or nothing.
Yeah.
So when we started, we had to call because some of them, the Advantage plans were only their prior authorization. So you have to be able to get an authorization if you break your hip and go to the hospital. You have surgery. Then we have to submit your surgery. We have to submit your therapy evaluations and your medications to Anthem or Humana, whatever Advantage plan that you have. We have to submit all of that, then they will approve you. And they generally only approve 3 to 5 days at a time. You're not guaranteed those 100 days like you would have been with Medicare.
Okay. Well, it's good to know,
and a lot of people don't realize that. They're like, no, I have 100 days. No, if you had traditional Medicare, you would have had 100 days. So we try to help them to call and switch back and say, listen, there's a change in my circumstances. I fell, I broke my hip, I broke my leg, I broke my neck. I need
some help.
To change.
Yeah. Oh, good to know that.
Work.
I'm so glad to know that. Well, that right there, that's like, you're supposed to learn something new every day. That's new for me, and I'm so glad to hear that because I kept thinking, because I remember years ago it was scary because once that deadline, it was done, and then it's like you're locked in, and it's like it doesn't cover my my medicine, my what I need, and
absolutely.
And then they were asking the pharmacies, the pharmacists, which are busy, are so busy. But the pharmacists are fantastic.
Absolutely,
okay?
They are.
They're wonderful, and they take time for you. But to sit down with you and to spend that hour or two just going over everything, that's hard time to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what he was talking about, I don't know if everybody caught it or not, but it's basically a managed Medicaid as a supplement. You can see if you qualify. That's why he was saying, you can have $1,700, you can have one vehicle, you can have your home still. But if you are, below the means, you would have a managed Medicaid and your Medicare. Your managed Medicaid would be considered your supplement. That's what he was talking about. That's why he kept saying you could go to the Medicaid office
Okay.
But, you know, a lot of
I'm so
people
confused.
can apply online. If you feel like you can't afford your supplements,
Yeah.
you know, because some of the supplements are expensive.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can apply, and even if you don't qualify for a traditional Medicaid, you might qualify for a Medicaid QMB, which is basically a supplement.
I think somebody needs to counsel with you. I think you need to be a counselor, Laura. I'm serious over there. No, I mean, like, yeah. Well, I know you've learned it because of, you have to learn it, right? I mean, you have to learn.
It's hands-on.
Yeah, it's
you know.
hands-on, which is great knowledge.
Yeah.
That's a superpower you're pulling out here.
People call me all the time and will ask me, hey, this is what I have. Can
Well,
you tell me what it pays or
yeah,
what do
what
I
I
need
need-
to
yeah,
switch
well.
to, you know,
And
to
then
get...
check with your doctors too, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Check with your physician. Check with the
Yeah.
pharmacies.
See,
the
yeah.
pharmacies are changing. You know,
Wow.
we went to Walmart for years for our medicines, and we
Uh-huh.
have TRICARE.
Uh-huh.
And now they don't cover at Walmart anymore. So we are having to switch.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, you have to ask.
Yeah.
You have to ask. or
Boy,
you're
that's
never
true.
gonna know.
That's true. But if you don't know the questions to ask,
Yes.
see, that's where like an individual,
Yes.
it's just completely mind blowing. You know what I mean on some of this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is a
Yeah.
lot. It
So,
is a lot.
And I feel sad for anybody because this can be a lot of.
There are seniors that I feel get preyed upon.
I don't even like that.
And they, you know, are struggling the day to day. Some of our seniors are struggling day to day to pay their bills and afford their insurance and their
Yeah.
medicines and
Yeah.
and to have enough to buy groceries.
Yeah.
And they are getting preyed upon, and that absolutely breaks my heart.
Well, sure.
I hate that. I hate that some of these insurance people go to these senior apartments
Yeah.
and try to, you know,
Yeah.
they speak it up very, very well. However, they don't help them to check and
Yeah.
see if they're in network with the things
Yeah.
that they use every day.
Exactly.
You know, and then they're stuck with it, or they feel like they're stuck with it.
But it's good. You bring good news today that there is.
They are not stuck with it.
I love that.
No.
Well, I hope that. Yeah, I hope that people catch that and realize that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So good information,
Absolutely.
Laura. Thank you for joining in on that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bringing that. That's good. Good. All right. Well, that's a lot to think about.
Yes, it is.
On a Monday.
It is.
Yeah, for somebody. Yeah.
Insurance is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot.
Yeah. But I think everybody needs an advocate. Everybody needs somebody to talk to about that. Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. All right, we're on to the 22nd day of August. Isn't that crazy?
It is a little
And
crazy.
I do want to say this day has 11 years ago, my dad passed away on this day. Yeah, it was actually a Sunday, and it was, yeah. And, but you know what? You learn it still hurts, but you just learn to go on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And try to make him as proud as possible.
Absolutely.
So, that's the 22nd day of August. Today is also be an angel day.
That's a good one.
And it does be an angel, right? Yeah. National, and it's BAO Day. BAO Day. BAO Day? I don't know what that is.
I don't know either.
Okay. National Eat a Peach Day.
Yeah.
You can do that. A little peaches.
Absolutely.
National Pecan Torte Day.
Yum.
Laura, this is getting good here.
Ooh.
National
Food
Tooth
wise.
Fairy Day.
Ooh.
You know, the Tooth Fairy makes a lot of money anymore. They've really increased it, you know.
Yeah, my kids didn't get that.
No, Tooth Fairy wasn't as generous at my house. Oh, you're gonna like this. National Never Being Better Day. Never Being Better Day. Never Being Better Day.
Huh.
It shows puppies. Never being better.
Huh.
I don't know. Like, I guess instead of been better, being better. Let's see here. Take your cat to the vet day.
Oh, my cat hates it.
Yeah. I don't think any cat's like, gee, I want to go to the vet today. National World Plant Milk Day. And it shows almond, which would be almond milk, yeah. So, I was trying to figure out how do they make almond milk. So they take almonds and they crush them up and they put water, they add water to it and it makes the milk.
Huh.
I had to do research on how they make almond milk. Because you can't milk an almond.
No, you can't.
So,
You can't. We always laugh at that.
yeah, I know. You like almond milk?
It's okay.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
okay. Sometimes. I'll get it in my coffee, but not a whole lot.
Yeah. All right, so you got your boy back. Yay.
I have my boy back.
How proud are you of him?
18 tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday to him. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
So he'll go for his birthday.
Yeah, he'll go back to school tomorrow. Today he has to check in with his unit and do all that good jazz. So yeah, it's
was it
exciting.
Was it like getting him back? Was it like, and he was like a difference? Could you tell a big difference?
Yes, you can tell a huge difference. I felt bad. One of the girls that had flew home on the plane from out there, she was from Bowling Green, and her dad didn't realize that she was going to be there Friday, so she ended up being stuck at the airport till 4 a.m. But her dad picked her up 4 a.m. Saturday morning.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, she had a long night. She was super sweet, super nice.
And she's young.
These
are young.
They're 17.
I mean,
All of them are 17 or turned 18 while they're in basic.
I'm just thinking, to be stuck in an airport at that age, I mean, like, I've been in airports many times, but as a 17-year-old...
Why they're grieving in Terre Haute. I'm John Herrick. You're listening to Network Indiana. 3 Indiana State University students killed in a car crash Sunday morning. Police believe the driver left State Road 46 and hit a tree. The car caught on fire. The driver and 2 other kids inside were killed. The other 2 were freed from the car and taken to a hospital with serious injuries. The Indiana State women's soccer team was supposed to have a soccer game Sunday afternoon, but that was postponed. Indiana's Governor Eric Holcomb has become the first U.S. governor to visit Taiwan since before COVID. In Taiwan this morning, he said,
the Indiana-Taiwan agreement is focused on building upon those economic ties in critical industries, semiconductors, ag, bioscience, advanced manufacturing, and technology.
He says the purpose of the trip is to strengthen Indiana's economic, academic, and cultural connections with Taiwan and South Korea. He'll be back to Indiana on Saturday. You're listening to Network Indiana.
And yesterday he got his birthday present. He wanted a handgun, so we got him that. He went target practicing.
Oh, wow.
So,
yay, welcome back. What a great...
Yes, he's had a busy few days, but he loved his room. We redid his room for him while he was gone, so...
That's nice. Yeah, that's really, wow, that's awesome. I'm just thinking, like, because I'm sure they had, like, a certain, like, food.
Yes.
I'm sure there wasn't, like, our normal food that we,
No.
You know what I mean?
He said he had a lot of MREs. The meals ready to eat in the packets.
Oh, I was going to say, MREs,
Yes.
you're going to have your, okay.
So he had a lot of those. He had water and something resembling Gatorade.
Okay.
He said he normally didn't get it because it didn't taste too well.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So he had a lot of water over those 10 weeks.
So I guess they probably didn't have soft drinks.
No.
Oh.
No.
That's hilarious. I would think,
Yeah.
That's great.
So yeah, it was.
And I'm sure he had a lot of stories and.
Oh yeah.
Because he did a lot of running.
Yes. Oh yeah. He's actually running this morning. He was by Eddie Gilstrap's Collision Center. He was running before he goes to.
Crossroad.
Yeah. No, he has to meet his sergeants down at his unit this morning.
Okay.
To report in or whatever that he made at home. So he'll start school tomorrow. He'll go to Salem and then to Crossroad.
Oh, I'm so happy about that. Wow. So
Senior year on his birthday.
I know. Think about that. I mean, like, that's a lot.
Absolutely.
That's a story. That's a cool story. But I'm just thinking, and he's keeping up his running,
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, yeah.
That's very impressive. Yeah. I bet he's just gotten that routine. I bet it's just like almost like once you get in a routine like that. Well,
his bed looks so cute. He sent me a picture of it. He was like, look, I made my bed. I said, that is the first time I ever made your bed.
And you didn't have to tell him to.
No. I was at clinicals, and he sent me a picture of it.
That's wonderful. Yeah. That's great. I bet the dogs were all happy to see him too.
Yes, they are very happy to have him home.
That is great. That is good. Well, we've been waiting for that to happen, that banner day. So that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Good big weekend, and you finished your clinicals.
Yes, I finished
you're
my
done
clinicals
now?
for that. Yeah.
Where do you go next?
I just have class, and then I'll.
So you actually finished it at the Kentucky State Fair yesterday.
Yes. We were at Frankfort Regional Hospital for 4 weeks, and then this past weekend we were at the Kentucky State Fair.
Did you get any good fair food?
I did.
What'd you get?
I did. We had corn dogs.
No, you did it right. Good for you.
We had pork burgers one day
yeah.
from the Cattlemen's Club. Let's see. Of course, lemon shake-ups, funnel cakes. I mean,
yeah.
And there was this dip company, all these different dips, and they were giving you pretzels to try them all. And then one guy was giving out soup samples. It was like bags of soup.
Ooh.
Oh my lands. The taco soup is fantastic. And then there is one booth, and it's called the Pickle Guy.
Okay.
He has huge 5-gallon buckets of pickles, and he sells them in different sized containers, and you can try them. Oh my land. We tried so many different kinds of pickles. Pickles, I mean, there was garlic, there was ranch, there was jalapeno, there was bread and butter, there was one called Old Fashioned, and it's like just a dill pickle. Mm.
What again?
Oh my lands. Yes, I brought that one and the heated bread and butter.
Oh, I bet.
I got containers of those to bring home. They are so good. Oh my goodness.
A bag of pickles.
A tub of pickles.
Oh, tub.
Yeah.
They were tub. I was saying.
Yeah, it's a tub of them. You get different sized tubs. But yeah, he's got like this whole big thing.
Who
Apparently
knew?
he's
Who
been-
knew there was such a thing out there?
I know. I
Yeah.
had never been to the Kentucky State Fair.
Yeah.
But we lived it up all weekend.
That is cool. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was
That's neat.
fantastic.
I love that.
We were
Yeah.
all just exhausted from, I think, eating. Not really.
Well, I
the
bet.
actual
Yeah,
processes
but it's
that
also
we
warm
did.
out there too.
Yeah.
It was very
Yeah,
warm
it
too.
was.
So
It
that's
was.
heat. Well, good. That's cool. That's good. And yay for you.
Yeah.
Yay, you did it.
Yay, one step closer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
You're taking big giant steps there. You're getting there. Well, then, and I went at Chicago. I went to Chicago, and I was amazed at, I guess, well, I have been to Chicago, different times,
Yeah.
actual Illinois. But I was amazed how much, actually, when you go into Illinois, it's a lot like Indiana. I guess I was thinking like there was a big difference, but actually it blends very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And this is the old Juliet prison, and that was actually on the kind of the south, was it east side? I can't remember. Anyway, it was not in Chicago yet.
Yeah.
So of Illinois, it was, and it was in a prison that had shut down, and it was the coolest. Like
I was living vicariously through
you would have
I kept
loved
watching
it.
the
You would have
videos
loved
and
every bit of
everything.
it.
We talked to
Yes,
a couple
yeah,
different
yeah.
people about it.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
I would love to go.
So the prison itself was like they give tours, okay, but like there was different like the cells like it was really eerie. They had like and then there was like the area where they did the electric chair.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You got to see that?
Yeah, like you saw the area there, and then they did the area where like they had a hospital.
Really?
Yeah, they had. Yeah, look at you. And they do a lot of haunted tours. Am I saying right? Tours? Yeah, it was like really. Yeah, it was kind of eerie. And then there was like a story where like the warden's wife, they kill her, and they like right there in the window, so the warden could see it. Yeah, I mean like all these stories about the actual prison. Okay.
Yeah.
So then like that was like really fascinating. And then they did the Maxwell, and this was cool. They did it's like Maxwell Street Days. In Chicago, there's a Maxwell Street Days, okay? This is cool. Or in Illinois, there's a Maxwell Street Days. So this is cool. So my dad would have had to have caught that idea, and then he brought it here to Salem. Remember, we used to have Maxwell Street. He put on Maxwell Street Days. And he did it actually on like the courthouse. It was actually on the square, on the courthouse lawn and around. And then they had asked him not to do that anymore, so we stopped doing it. But anyway, but it was cool to hear that story of the Maxwell Street Days, and they've got like a big, like they're a club, and it's really cool. That was cool to hear about that, and I said that's where like the puzzle pieces were making sense.
Yes.
So that was really cool. Then there were all kinds of great bands and people, over 6,000 people. That was the limit that I mean, it was just packed. But then to meet Dan Aykroyd and Jim Belushi was just over the moon. I was just like, yeah, they were just the coolest. They were so much fun, energy, and just their sense of humor is just so mine. They're just hilarious. They were cool.
Awesome.
And Jim's wife was there. She's beautiful. Got to meet our own Tom Malone that we actually interviewed.
Yes.
Yeah, he was cool. His wife was wonderful too. Everybody was just awesome. Yeah.
Aww.
So it was cool. It was so cool.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So it was a great opportunity and a great concert. The concert they went on. And remember, okay, wait, hang on. I get confused on time. They're an hour
Behind
us. Yes. So it was funny because they ended a little bit after 11 their time, but it would have been after midnight our time. So,
Oh, my Lord.
but you didn't even know.
Yeah.
You just wanted them to keep going. You know what I mean? Keep going. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. And it was a total blast. So, and then like when you stood up on the stage, because I got to go up on the stage, and you looked at all of those people, like, oh my goodness, it was packed. Yeah, it was so good. It was done really well. It was a lot of fun, and
I know they put a lot of heart and soul.
Yeah. They fed us beautiful. We got to eat, and we fed us. The owner of the
Why they're grieving in Terre Haute. I'm John Herrick. You're listening to Network Indiana. 3 Indiana State University students killed in a car crash Sunday morning. Police believe the driver left State Road 46 and hit a tree. The car caught on fire. The driver and 2 other kids inside were killed. The other 2 were freed from the car and taken to a hospital with serious injuries. The Indiana State women's soccer team was supposed to have a soccer game Sunday afternoon, but that was postponed. Indiana's Governor Eric Holcomb has become the first U.S. governor to visit Taiwan since before COVID in Taiwan this morning, he said.
The Indiana-Taiwan agreement is focused on building upon those economic ties in critical industries, semiconductors, ag, bioscience, advanced manufacturing, and technology.
He says the purpose of the trip is to strengthen Indiana's economic, academic, and cultural connections with Taiwan and South Korea. He'll be back to Indiana on Saturday. You're listening to Network Indiana.
Yeah. The adrenaline kept
Yeah.
you going.
Yeah, I think that, and just to talk about it, and and then their music was wonderful. It was fun, and they had a lot of energy. I mean, I was amazed. They put on a good show. So Jim Belushi was he went off the stage, he went back on the stage. He was all over the stage. He was doing it.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it was good. Very good. So anyway, that was a fun weekend. Let's see here. Then, we had football, exciting. Our Friday night football starting. And then I went to some of the younger ones yesterday.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yeah.
It was rain, but they still continued on. So game on.
Absolutely.
So
good luck to JV.
Yeah.
Salem JV tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Harrison.
Yeah.
My boy's playing.
Are you excited about that?
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
That's going to be awesome. Let's hope they get a victory, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have class tonight, but I'll be watching the FaceTime.
There you go. That a girl. Yeah. Well, you're
We
getting it.
figured out a way. It's fine.
Isn't it a blessing that you have this technology
Yes.
now that we didn't used to have?
Absolutely.
So that's really a blessing for that. So you could be there, but
Not be there.
but be there, but not be there. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. Coming up, also, let's see here, Laura. We got busy schedules coming up. Like I said, we have Beer on the Bricks coming up on the 17th of September. Tickets, I just want to make sure everybody gets their tickets and save some money. Let's see what else we got coming up. The museum's got their car show coming up. There's something for everybody to do,
Absolutely.
I'm trying to remember everything going on. It's Monday.
We have Halloween at the museum, too.
Absolutely. The Saturday before, yes, and that's going to be fun.
Be here before we know it.
Yeah, I know. So what we're doing right now is coordinating with, so that they can actually leave the museum and go right onto the parade.
Yes.
So we're trying to get for sure times, but it will be the Saturday before Halloween.
Yes.
So that Saturday before Halloween. So that's always nice.
Absolutely.
So Halloween's on a Monday this year. So, and that's crazy to think that it already, before too long, we'll already be in there. Time's going by way too fast.
Yes, it is.
Way too fast. So, anyway, you said you had nothing to do. We'll change that really quick.
Absolutely.
There's always something to do, isn't there?
In a matter of seconds.
Very much so. All right, well, Laura, thank you for hanging out with me. And
Thanks for having
I'm very
me.
proud of you finishing your clinicals and onward ho. Can't wait to see what the next chapter is. And see what your classes and
Super
stuff.
exciting.
Yeah. And I wrote you a coffee prescription there. Yeah.
Yes,
so,
it's fantastic.
Yeah, so
I love
you
it.
got your little prescription there of coffee. And so that's your...
Black gold. It expires when the mug is empty.
That's exactly right. You got
And
it.
refills? Sure.
Yeah, definitely keep those refills going.
I love it.
That's what's going to keep you going.
Love
That's
it.
going to get you where you need to be.
Absolutely.
That's what I always say. I need some coffee. I need to get me where I need to be. Yeah. All right, let's thank our sponsors.
Alrighty, we want to thank Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Celebrity Home Loans, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, and Fox Curley Wealth Management.
Also, real quick, I know some things. Don't forget McDonald's for all your birthday parties.
Yes.
Contact Renee. Also, Holiday World will be switching gears. They'll be going in from their summer into their fall, which is always fun time of the fall with Holiday World. So we'll remind everybody about that. All right. Have a wonderful Monday.
Happy Monday.
Thanks, Laura. Remember when you had your birthday party at McDonald's, playing with your family and friends, enjoying cake and that one-of-a-kind McDonald's food and drink? If you're looking for a fun and safe place to have a party for your children or grandchildren, look no further. Party time is back at McDonald's right here in Salem, Mitchell, and West Baden. That's right, hosted birthday parties are back, baby! Call event coordinator Renee Lewis at 812-788-0126 to schedule your birthday for Salem, Mitchell, or West Baden today. The party includes food and drink for up to 10 guests, with your choice of white or chocolate cake, ice cream for each child, a gift for the birthday boy or girl, goodie bags for each child, and a festive decorated party area. Parties at Salem allow children to play, while the McDonald's in Mitchell and West Baden will feature age-appropriate games. Let McDonald's make your child's next birthday party stress-free for you and fun for them. Call Renee at 812-788-0126 today and get your next party on the schedule at McDonald's.
Labyrinth Life is back September 22nd through the 25th. 4 stages, over 90 bands with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Give it away, give it away, give it away. 9 Inch Nails. Slipknot. The Devil and I. Yes. With Alice in Chains, Bring Me the Horizon, Shinedown, Rob Zombie, Alice Cooper, Incubus, Evanescence, Tenacious D, and many more. Go to labyrinthoflifefestival.com for all lineup and ticket information.
This is Melissa Jeremiah with Hoosier Uplands Home Health Care and Hospice. Our professionals are available at 812-849-4447 to answer any questions you have regarding home health care or hospice. The summer heat is upon us. When working outdoors, make sure and stay hydrated. Also check on your neighbors who are homebound. Consider donating a fan or window unit to those who are without. Our family at Hoosier Uplands wishes you a safe summer.
Big park, bigger fun, bigger smiles. Beach Bend Park. There's classic amusement rides for all ages. The famous Kentucky Rumbler roller coaster, daily shows, games, mini golf, and more. Soak up some sun and take the plunge in Splash Lagoon Water Park with wave pool, lazy river, interactive play area, and exhilarating water slides. Or relax in your own private cabana rental. Purchase tickets online and save on one-day admission. Or have twice the fun with a 2-day play pass for $49.99. Active, retired, and veteran armed forces. All